Welcome to Jay's Grass-Fed Podcast, episode 5. We'll start off with the weekly weather updates. I made the graph so you can actually see the temperature fluctuations as I'm reading them off. So I don't know what the best way to do this is going to be. Is it going to be backwards too? I guess so. Well, there's the graph. Yeah, maybe I could just hold it like that. It's going to be all backwards, but basically starting right here is the beginning of last week on Tuesday the 6th. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all the way to this Tuesday. So a week from last Tuesday to today, Tuesday. And it starts off at the top, 48 for the low, 53 Wednesday, 54 for the low, 60 for the high, 60 degrees Fahrenheit on December 7th. Next day, December 8th, low was 42, high was 46. Friday, next day, December 9th, 28 for the low, 38 for the high. December 10th, Saturday, 20 for the low, 34 for the high. Sunday, December 11th, 16 for the low, and 32 for the high. Yesterday, Monday, it was 28 for the low and 28 for the high. It didn't go above, I guess it went from 16 up to 28 over the course of the night. And I recorded the next rising temperature, but it didn't go up at all that day. And then today, 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So literally in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 5 days, there was a 50 degrees fluctuation because, yeah, it was 60 degrees on December 7th. It's pretty cool. So there's the graph. That was the record for this week. And it doesn't take too long to do this, so I might try and do it every week. But yeah, that's the weekly weather update graph from 12/6 to 12/13. Pretty interesting, that 60 degrees Fahrenheit day in December. I'll have to look back, but yeah, 2020 Christmas, it was 50 degrees on Christmas. We were walking around in the rain, or on Christmas Eve. And then the next day it snowed a little bit. Last year, I have to look back at the record. And then this year, we'll see. But I had said it in one of the previous episodes that like right when it changes to the month of the next month, it just like feels like the next month. But sometimes they do have that like weird rocky start to it where it's like, oh yeah, it's 60 degrees in December, or I've seen a 70 degree day in March, 40 to 50 degree days in February. January is usually locked in, pretty cold, but I've seen a 50-degree day in January too. And I was talking about this in one of the videos that I made today. It's going to be going out in a few weeks. But the springtime, where it's supposed to be getting warmer in the spring, it's staying colder and colder. And where it's supposed to be getting colder in the fall time, going into the winter, it's getting warmer and warmer. So, and you know, it does stay cold, like still for, I mean, we've had pretty, like we got 20s in October and November, but through the whole course of that, we also get our 60-degree spike ups, our 70-degree spike ups. And so like we'll get all those spike ups through the winter that I was explaining, but it also is still cold, but I feel like it should stay locked in. I've talked about this in one of the other podcasts with my good brother Greg. Like, as when I was younger, you would see the snow from each snowstorm. When you would like go shovel out the mailbox or something, you literally see all the layers. Now all the snow melts, and all the snow melts before the next storm, and you don't get that layering. So like so if you get that layering, because it would stay cold like consistently the whole time, and now it doesn't do that. We just have these crazy fluctuations, like up, down, and that makes for like, you know, I feel like the winter would be easier. Excuse me. I feel like the winter would be easier if it just stayed locked in consistently cold, instead of like, oh yeah, it's 50 degrees in February, now it's -10, and then oh yeah, it's back up to 70 degrees in March. I literally, the past 2 or 3 years, definitely 2 Marches, I've seen it spike up to, no, it's 3. I've seen it spike up to 60 to 70 degrees in the middle to the 3rd week of March. And then before the end of the month, it drops back down to 19 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and I've talked to 2 people who have lived in this general area of southern Vermont, you know, from where I am to like 45 minutes across the mountains. Lived here for 30 years, and they both said that the only month that they haven't seen it snow was July. But yeah, so that's crazy. And then I'm pretty sure somebody had confirmed like it did snow in July one time. So 12 months out of the year, it could go any direction at any point. We really get like 2 months, 2 good stable months of like, okay, it's summer. It's crazy, but it's an amazing thing to be here and witness all that. So I'm happy to be making the observations and learning from them and just keeping record of it all. So that is the weekly weather update. So let's get into what else is going on. There's a pop-up shop for the local health food store this weekend. I'm just gonna set up some tables. The manager asked me to come through and if I wanted to set up a table. This is kind of dark. I posted a picture of it actually on the post, on the community post page. You know, you could make posts on YouTube now. Go check it out. Yeah, I could just read it off. It says J's elderberry tonic, 1 teaspoon a day to maintain wellness. Flu preventive, preventive, and then, yeah, preventive. It was just, or we won't get into it, but flu preventive, immune system booster, high in vitamins, wild harvested locally. And then elderberry is a hardwood bush with a vigorous growth, native to North America, but it also is there also is European versions of the elderberry. I said they were like in Asia too. They're all over the elderberries, but yeah, definitely like Asia, Europe, and North America. But I'm just covering the two that are local to or native to North America. excuse the throat thing. Gotta feel like because the heat's cranking in the apartment now. It's dry. Its berries and flowers have medicinal properties. Elderberries are high in polyphenols, organic compounds with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, along with containing zinc, iron, calcium, potassium, and vitamin C. And I wanted to put this in like parentheses after that, like in milligram amounts. Always made in small batches. Each batch gets a hefty amount of local raw honey to keep tonic from fermenting. It will last up to 4 months if kept in the fridge. Yeah, it'll probably last longer than that, but I haven't had a batch long enough to test if it'll go longer than 4 months without fermenting. I believe that it will though. Each jar has estimated 27 teaspoons, giving you almost a month's worth of tonic with a long shelf life. So that's Jay's elderberry tonic. I started selling that at the farmer's market over this past summer, early spring, and it went very well. There was a good amount of elderly folk that were really digging it. There was this one woman, she would come and yeah, if you bring the jar back, you get $1 off your next purchase. And she would just like come back with like 3 jars, like stocking up on them, and I'll be like, oh, awesome. You know, I didn't realize that. I should have realized. I did after that. I was like, oh yeah, she's a repeat, but yeah, it's good. So yeah, kind of got a little repeat customer base. Looking forward to that. Just got reached out to by the good buddy. He's also a fellow vendor. He was giving me the rundown on it's going to be same prices as last year. So I think I am going to plan on doing the Arlington Farmers Market in Arlington, Vermont. Looking for a new spot to set it up, because the old spot we have to like miss a week for to have like a carnival, and when we missed the week, it just like the market was really just starting to get going, and then it just messed up the flow. It seemed like every week after that, it was just like slower, a little bit slower. Then it like picked up. Then it was just, yeah. So it definitely threw a wrench in the gears. But so that's why they're trying to find a new spot. I trust that they will. And yeah, it's going to be a great year. And yeah, so pop-up shop for the health food store market this weekend. That'll be cool because I get to touch like people in my community, not 20 minutes away. It's all one community, but you know, local. What's local to you? 5 minutes or 15 minutes, 20 minutes? I just like the Arlington market because it feels like it has a little bit more to offer for my up and coming farm. So yeah, that's all that. What else did I want to say about that? yeah, I'm just looking forward to meeting people in my community, like more on that 5 minutes local kind of status, explaining to them what the elderberry is about. And yeah, it's cool to be able to have something to offer this late in the season, I guess if you want to call it. Some people, to technically the season's over, but is it though, really? Because I have, and whatever, I'm not trying to bring this to a point of like ego, like I have this. No, like there's farmers everywhere that have food right now who know these winter growing techniques and they're still cranking out production. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm up and coming with my little low tunnels and I'm doing what I can. That was the video that I made today. It's gonna go out on December 30th. What's growing in December? So check that out. Premieres then. We got a video coming out this Friday and next Friday. So a video every Friday this month and a podcast every Tuesday. Bringing it to y'all. JsGrassFedGarden. Weekly weather updates. And weekly updates about what's going on. So yeah, I'm just being forward to able to offer that. I made all the batches. I just got to jar them up Thursday. And I hand wrote all the labels. And I've thought about getting a label maker, but it's like a little bit expensive. And yeah, just cranked out those handwritten ones. It feels nice. There's like it's the whole energy putting it into it, and it's the craft. So yeah, all right, moving on. So we're gonna be moving on to the seeds that I have, but I keep losing my train of thought. I just wanted to bring it back. So I'm happy to have this to offer, and I just wanted to put on record that it's going to be a limited supply, because I feel like people don't understand that you can only harvest so much when the berries are available at the times that they are. And obviously you don't want to over harvest. Like the natives said, you want to take only what you need so others will always have. And I guess you could see that in a weird way. Because people be like, oh, well, you're harvesting the berries and then you're selling them and then you're making a profit off of it. But it's like, yeah, I took the time to harvest them and took the time to learn about the plant and what its healing properties are, what the natives used to use it for themselves. So I'm working with the plant, I'm putting in the time and the energy and the craft to make the product. And in the course of doing all of that, I'm making sure that there's not over harvesting being partaken in. And I'm also not over harvesting partaken in. Yeah. And I'm giving back to the community. So yeah, and anyone can do this, and I want to teach people how to do this. So it's like, you don't even have to buy Jay's elderberry tonic. You can make it yourself. Yeah, make it yourself, grow it yourself. Maybe some people don't want to do that, and I guess for the people who don't want to do that, the Jay's tonic will be on the shelves. But I just want people to understand that you can only harvest a limited amount. So it's like there's not an unlimited supply of like elderberry tonic, So I'll probably have like 5, maybe 6, 7 You'll see how it jars up, because the August berries are the Sambucus canadensis, and that is the purple elderberry. And then there is the Sambucus racemosa, and that is the red elderberry. And those are both native to North America. And the red elderberry, Sambucus racemosa, that one harvests early in the spring. And when I made those batches, it's 2 cups of elderberries to 4 cups of water, and then I add cinnamon, cayenne, ginger, and local honey. You have to boil it for 20 minutes, because there's like many greens and stuff. There's like oxalates in the greens, and you have to cook them before you eat them, or those oxalates can block your body from uptaking the nutrients that's available in that greens. So I kind of see it as like, just basically baseline is some things have to be cooked in order to eat them or gain the medicinal properties from them. And I'm still learning all about this, but I know how it's done with the elderberries. So, you know, you boil those for 20 minutes with the 2 to 4 cups. But I've been doing it like 30 minutes. And then I strain it through a cheesecloth and put it into a jar, let it sit for like 50 minutes. So it's like still kind of warm when I pour in the large amount of raw honey, so that it won't ferment, but not so warm that like it's gonna damage the raw properties of the honey. Because obviously if you heat it, then it becomes not raw anymore. So we try to do it just warm enough so that when I pour the honey in, it'll kind of still mix together. When I shake it all around, swish it up, put on the mason jar cap, label it, and put it in the fridge. And when you put it in the fridge, since it's still a little warm, it makes like an airtight seal until they're ready to be jarred up. And I've noticed that when you leave them sitting for like, they basically get better with time. Like I tried it like right when it was still warm before it cooled down. I had already knew this, but like kind of forgot about it, like to not try it until after it's like cooled down. And I was just like, oh no, like I ruined the batch, like it's over with, like. And then I was like, oh no, it'll be good, like, you know. And then I tried it after it was refrigerated, and it was like, yeah, just gotta let it sit. So it'll get better with time. But what I was saying is that the ones that harvest in the springtime, the red berries, those had just gotten rained on. So even though I did the 2 to 4 cups of water, it like there was moisture in the berries that gave more liquid to the batch, essentially. And but with the purple berries that harvest in like August, those ones didn't produce as much. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? Because I put the same amount of water, same amount of berries. But we were in a drought by that time. And yeah, so they didn't have as much moisture in the berries, which leads to a lesser batch. Interesting observations. So yeah, that's everything on the elderberries. And we got a whole bunch of cuttings that I'm going to be rooting. And then trying to sell at the market, the farmer's market, or try to sell them at a bulk price to the community market. I don't know if they're gonna maybe have like a little place to set up inside or outside for like some plants for sale. I'm thinking about maybe doing like some basil starts or something for like a little plant sale. So that'll all be good in the springtime. Right now the garden is in the sleep stage. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing the elder with everyone. Respect your elders and respect your elders. It's all backwards. But that's a sign that I got set up for the pop-up shop coming up this week. And then I thought it would just be cool to get into, I took seed inventory of everything that I had rocking. And yeah, just wanted to share that. So we got, all of these are going to be from Hudson Valley Seed Co. They're in Accord, New York, and they have all the open pollinated and heirloom varieties, no hybrids. So I think that that's really cool. Because if it's a hybrid, you can't save seed from it. You won't get the same genetics. Open pollinated, you can save seed from. An heirloom is just basically an open pollinated, but an heirloom is like an open pollinated that's like 50 years or older. So obviously you keep on saving the seed, you preserve those genetics, you don't save the seed, you lose them. Keep on crossing the genetics and make it hybridized, then you lose them. Kind of like they're doing with cannabis. And they're doing it with the plants too. But yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. I don't really have enough knowledge about that to really even talk about it. But so here we go. Braising mix. It's a nice kind of a mustard greens mix. Golden Giant Amaranth, Golden Globe Turnip, Burgundy Okra, Dejulis. It's pink quinoa. It only produces grain in like zone 7, but I'm gonna try to see. Or it's also a good spinach substitute. So you can just grow it. It has like a nice flower, and you can eat the leaves. Green Wave Mustard Green, Hon Tots. Yeah, excuse me. Please excuse me if I'm not saying this right, but I think it's Hon Tots Thai. I forget what the GS stood for, but or green sprouting Calabrese broccoli, some Kalan, Chinese kale, or Chinese, also known as Chinese kale or Chinese broccoli, mesclun mix, Mizuna Asian greens, rainbow chard, rainbow tatsoi, red swan bean, watercress, tatsoi, Jacob's cattle bean, autophyll, flint corn. It's like a really nice orange flint corn. Double red sweet corn, succotash runner bean, succotash, light red kidney beans, green skin bitter melon, blue Hubbard squash, gold midget watermelon, golden midget watermelon, Long Island cheese pumpkin, monarch celeriac, and silver slicer cucumber. And then still on the Hudson Valley Seed Co. New Mexican amaranth, purple top white globe turnip, red Russian kale, red giant mustard greens, rhubarb chard, scarlet red tatsoi, solstice broccoli, tender komatsuna, It's a really nice, like mustard green. What they call it? Like a mustard green spinach kind of, or I don't know. I might have that mixed up, but yeah, it's hardy too, cause like all the brassicas got like just destroyed. Like I guess it's like the flea beetle or the something, but your plant only gets eaten by insects because the soil is not healthy. It's not. If you have an unhealthy plant, you have unhealthy soil, and the pests can only attack the plant if the plant is unhealthy. And the only reason that the plant could be unhealthy is because the soil is unhealthy, or the soil life that's there can't support that certain plant. Other things may be thriving though. Uh, Wasabina greens, wild arugula, lavender cloud, nicotina, purple plum radish, Minowees daikon radish, Macedo rose fall radish, watermelon radish type, Thai basil, early Jersey Wakefield cabbage. Looking forward to trying to grow some cabbage. Purple vena, kohlrabi, arugula, cherry belly radish, Bloomsdale spinach, red cord chantenay carrot, scarlet nantes carrots, dragon carrots, and that's everything for Hudson Valley Seed Co. One love to them. Got an awesome variety. Go check them out, please. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. I just like sharing where you can get good seeds from and save those seeds. So then we got going on to high mowing seeds, which is kind of cool because I worked on like a organic hemp farm or CBD farm, and they leased land from high mowing seeds, and like I wasn't even really into the farming, like growing my own food back then, like 2019. And when we were working on the CBD farm, we would see like the people like going to the rows under the row cover, like saving the seeds from all the plants, and just like it's crazy to think about it now. And it's like, oh yeah, now I get seeds from them. And I was like right there on their whole operation, just like, yeah, it's crazy to think about. One love to high mowing. They got some nice, they got a good amount of hybrids, but they also have some heirlooms and open pollinated good options, a good amount. So go check them out too. Uh, Red Mist lettuce, this is all from them. Red oak leaf lettuce, French breakfast radish, jade bush bean, red giant mustard greens, green wave mustard greens, red planet salad blend, Jericho romaine lettuce, loving that. Jericho, all these I'm loving. That's why I have them. Jericho romaine lettuce, outrageous lettuce, more red oak leaf lettuce, Volcan lettuce, Tropicana lettuce, more Komatsuna Asian greens, prize choy, pak choy. Haven't grown that. Looking forward to that. The lace lot leek, summer leeks, the Tadorna leek, winter leeks. Looking forward to trying to grow some leeks. The Oregon Sugar Pod 2 snow pea. That's my favorite pea. The Dragon Lingerie bean, Quincy Pinto bean, Roma 2 bean, bush bean. Dakota black popcorn, Market 76 cucumber, Tokyo market turnip, ruby streaks, mustard greens, galactic lettuce, burgundy okra, Iyoko, sweet pepper, Iko, however you say it, sweet pepper. It's like a nice blend of all these different colored peppers. Gonna check that out. Whole bunch of flowers, more purple top, white globe turnip, scarlet, oh no, rival turnip, Yankee Hardy blend, Lovelock lettuce, Roxy lettuce, Nevada lettuce, winter density, black seed Simpson lettuce. Those are all lettucey names. The winter density is also lettuce. Dazzling blue kale, Provider bush bean, Jacob's cattle dry bean, Royal Burgundy bush bean, Strike Snap bush bean, Calypso dry bean, and Abenaki flint corn. More from high mowing. San Marzano paste tomato, Peace Vine cherry tomato, deep purple basil, red cord chantenay carrot, Danvers 126 carrot, sunset chard, rhubarb supreme chard, bull's blood beets, Formanova beets, and Azure Star kohlrabi. Wood Prairie Family Farm. Got a big summer greens mix. Want to try their lettuce mix. Their big spring greens mix. Want to try that. Golden Gopher cantaloupe. It's a heirloom variety grown from like Wisconsin or Minnesota, and they grow it up like way up north in Maine. And I haven't been able to grow watermelon or cantaloupes because we just have it's not the good cantaloupe growing field, I guess. I'm gonna try to have success this year with that variety. Third year trying to grow cantaloupe. Long pie. It's like an old heirloom pumpkin variety. Jimmy Nardello cayenne. It's like a northern cayenne pepper. Polka dot flowers, Genovese basil, rosy basil, cardinal lettuce, flashy trout lettuce, 2 heirloom lettuce varieties, Dorini corn, it's like an old sweet corn variety, and sugar snap pea. So, yeah. One love to High Mowing, Hudson Valley Seed Co., and the Wood Prairie Family Farm. Yeah, and then randoms. Galusha Hill. They're up in northern Vermont. They didn't have seeds available this year. It's weird, but I got some from them last year, so these are left over. Lillian's Heirloom Yellow Tomato. It's like a big beefsteak size one, but it's yellow. So we're gonna try to grow that out. Amana Orange Tomato, Provider Bush Bean, West River Seeds. They're like over in, they're near Brattleboro. But those are just like from a seed swap I got a few years back. H19 Little Leaf Pickling Cucumber. And this seed company out of like Colorado. Some, the DiCiccio broccoli. It's like an Italian heirloom. And then, so that's all the seeds that I have unopened, ready to go. And then these are all the seeds that I have in jars already opened. Because through my research, if you put jars, open seed packages in jars, they'll last longer than if you would have just left them out. Like way longer than, so I don't know, I feel like that's a common misconception. Seeds don't last that long, but we'll see what happens after 1 year of keeping them in the jars. New York Early Onion, Halbange parsnip, Dakota onion, Lancer parsnip, mix of yellow and orange mini peppers from Mexico, organic pepper got from the grocery store, Minowese daikon radish, watermelon radish, pink beauty radish, purple top white globe turnip, fall rose radish, watermelon type, German giant radish, N. rustica, Rabbi Nue, some Nicotina, wholeness, blessings to that, gourmet lettuce blend, Peace Vine tomato, honey drop tomato, hoppy black eye sunflower, definitely growing that again. Velvet queen sunflower, didn't do so good, but I might try to grow it again. Mexican sunflower, pink boar tomato, golden ground cherry, elephant head amaranth, garnet red amaranth, San Marzano tomatoes, more of that DCCO broccoli, dragon lingerie, beans, common sage, sweet majoram, Tom's thumb popcorn, more Abenaki flint corn, sweet Thai basil, black cumin, Genovese basil, my own seeds that I saved, Tom's thumb popcorn, New England pie pumpkin, dragon lingerie, bush beans, red oak leaf lettuce, garnet red amaranth, Hawaiian flame tomato, peace vine tomato, Matt's cherry tomato, and my own frost cherry tomato, a cherry that got frosted, and I saved the seed from it. So now I got a cold hardy tomato, in theory. We'll see what happens. And then back to just, those were just seeds that I saved, and then back to the majority. That's all of these are in jars, but that was just, you know, from the frost cherry to Tom's thumb, again, those were all ones that I saved. So still in the jar stock, more scarlet oh no rival turnip, Hungarian hot wax pepper, Rosa Bianca eggplant, sweet chocolate pepper, banana pepper, Carolina Reaper, Carib cilantro, Hale's Best jumbo melon, Connecticut field pumpkin, black futsu squash, Uncle D's Dakota dessert squash, honey nut butternut squash, more New England pie pumpkin, zucchini, Benning's green tint summer squash, Blacktail mountain watermelon, Market Moore 76 cucumber, Booth Buys Blondie cucumber, Moscovich tomato, pink quinoa, Aunt Molly's ground cherry. And then cover crops, I have oats, Australian winter pea, New England spinach, which is like our New Zealand spinach, which is a good spinach, but they sell it in a cover crop pack because it's a great cover crop. It just takes over. And cowpea, turkey red winter wheat, and more oats. And then just more seeds that I had in this little pouch that will be the seeds that I was coming out of winter. I was going into winter with through fall, and I'll be going into spring back with those same seeds. So Bloomsdale spinach, red oak leaf, lettuce, my seed that I saved. Then red vein sorrel, Shanghai pak choi, Mizuna Asian greens, bull's blood beet, winter density lettuce, gourmet blend lettuce, tatsoi, Asian greens, claytonia, and mash. Yup. So basically I've just been stocking up on seeds for like the past 2 years. And yeah, this year I'm gonna up my seed savings scale operation, so I'll have to buy less, more each year. And then you could just start growing out your own seed strictly. You wouldn't have to buy anymore unless you wanted to bring in new varieties. Pretty cool. And then one last thing I have on that page is all the garlic cloves planted. So I'll name off the strain of garlic and how many cloves were planted. 67 West, 4 cloves. So obviously the ones that have less are the ones that I just started this year, and then the ones that are already up to number, besides the soft neck, were just multiplied from basically the smaller numbers that you're gonna hear. So 67 West, 4 cloves. Vermont Unknown number 2, 43 cloves. Lilac Ridge Farm, 7 cloves. Mighty Food Farm, 6 plus or more, close. Vermont, unknown number 2, 17. Hadley, Mass, 17. Spanish Roja, 13. Grandpa's Choice, 15. Vietnamese, 16. Edible Acres, 31. Orlando, Florida Softneck, 160. Wild Oat Softneck, unknown Softneck, 10. And then back to Hardneck, Italian Red, 13. Romanian Red, 7. Montana Giant, 10. And Russian Red, 13. So in total, 382 cloves in the ground. So in theory, yeah, it could be 382 full bulbs of garlic. And then you multiply it. And then you multiply it. And you multiply it. And by 2028, JsGrassFedGarden has 5,600 pounds of garlic, where I'm selling it across the entire country through a website or Etsy. And that's what's gonna happen. So, oh, and then the potatoes, potato seed. There's always something more. What is when you think there isn't? So we got a pound of all blue potato, 2.5 pounds of caribe, a pound of rose gold, and that's all I got for now. But I also have some of my own seed potatoes that I'm trying to save, and I got some from the grocery store that I'm saving, and I have sweet potatoes that I got for free. They were just left in like the wheel tracks of like the organic sweet potato farm that I was working on, because like if they have a little bug bite or like too much scuff on them, it's not a good potato. But it is still a good potato. So I filled up like a half 5-gallon bucket, and I just been chilling on those. Now like a full, what am I saying? I have a half-gallon 5 bucket left. I was able to like walk the wheel track all the way down like to the end of the field on some days, and just like pick up what I could, you know. Other people do it too, but it's just a shame. You know, it all gets tilled back in for fertility at the end of the year, so it may seem like a waste, but it's really not. And the crop was a really good freaking crop, so it shows. But yeah, with those sweet potatoes, I'm gonna try to grow my own sweet potato slips from. So you plant the sweet potato like halfway in a little tub of dirt in the window or under a grow light, and it should start producing your sweet potato slips. And you just, as they grow up, break it back. And I actually have one of my own sweet potatoes that I harvested that I'm saving. I didn't even get to eat any. Because I got such a small yield, so I wanted to save the best one to try to sprout it and get slips off of it, because it's already adapted to my soils. And then the other one's adapted to like New York soils, like an hour north. So, it's kind of a difference, but it's in this region grown. But yeah, I have 2 slips that I saved off of, like I cut them out of the field back in the summer and I put them in a cup of water to root them, and now I planted them in a pot with a spider plant. So hopefully those will just stay alive, and then if I'm not able to sprout any of the sweet potatoes that I have, get slips from, I'll still have a living slip in a pot. And then who knows, it might start forming a sweet potato in a few months, or but yeah, that'll be cool. So those are, yeah, work with what you got, and it's real easy to, once you know like what, it's like, you can get, you know, like sweet potatoes, you grow a slip and you plant that slip, and that's what gets a sweet potato. With a potato, you plant the potato and you get a potato. So I didn't know that, you know, it's just little things like that. And it's like, okay, so I can just get potatoes from the grocery store, organic ones, because they're not sprayed with a sprout inhibitor, and plant those in the garden. Or it's like, hey, these sweet potatoes that are gonna go to waste or get tilled back into the ground or given to other people for like food or whatever, I could try to save them for a little bit of food through the winter. And if I could save it for long enough in my little cold storage closet, then maybe I could make my own slips in the springtime. You know, so try to limit your costs as much as possible and just work what you have, be innovative. Yeah. That's like, you know, some people like probably just be like, like you, like I noticed it today. I got, there's like this coat rack I have. And when it came in the box, like the two things that you have to like screw in to make it a coat rack and put the hooks on it broke in the box. And I feel like most people just would have been like, fuck it, like I'm not gonna, excuse my language or whatever, but just be like, I'm just gonna throw it out, or maybe I'm just gonna like try to get a new piece of wood and fix it that way. And I just like, it was snapped, but like it kind of didn't break all the way, so I just like put it back together and I just put a piece of Gorilla Tape around it and I screwed it in, and like it's been like that for 3 years now, going on 3 years. And like it's been like that for so long, you know, and sturdy, I didn't notice and forgot about it. And I just seen it today and I was like, oh wow, that's like, you know, I taped that thing, fucking it came broke in the box. And yeah, that's just my point. I feel like, yeah, I guess it's all about who you are and your personality. Like, yeah, you know, maybe some people would just be like, that's like, whatever, like try to put it in some box that, because you still tried to tape back the thing that you got in the mail for your coat rack broke, and you just tried to fix it so you didn't have to spend any more money or do anything. Somebody would try to put that in a box and say it's lesser to some degree or whatever. And there's like a lot of people that understand, like, nah, that's what's up. And I guess it's just like there's two sides to everything. The yin and the yang, the light and the dark, love and the hate. But there ain't no hate around here, just love. So I think that might be it on that note. December 13th, it was, the low was 10, high was 31. Hasn't gone above no, well, I guess it has. Hasn't gone above 35 in 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So it's getting cold. It's staying cold now. We'll see what happens though. Those spike ups always come. So like I was saying today in one of the videos I was making for that video that's coming out on the 30th, what's growing in December, all that snow that's up there right now, which isn't a lot, could be all melted in a few weeks, literally. So, it says it's supposed to rain the next few days. So, like, it's gonna all melt. Fucking rain in December. Sorry, I keep swearing, but it's just like, yeah, it's just like, no, it was just 10 degrees and now it's gonna rain. Should be snowing. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't know. I'm not a weatherman. I just make observations and record temperatures. Alright, One Love Wholeness. Thank you if anybody watches it until this point. And we'll see you on the next one. Episode 6 next week. Let's go. Let's go. Peace. Wholeness.